Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Friday, so it's Return of Collecting Top 50 of all time. This week is number 7. And this guy, one of my favorite players of all time, his reputation is impeccable, just an absolutely outstanding player, probably one of the best guys to ever play baseball. So without further ado, let's jump into number 7. So number 7 on the list is Mr. Lou Gehrig. Here's his 1933 Gaudi. This one's number 92. It's an SGC3. It's got pretty good registration. I love that blue background. It's pretty well centered. It's got a little bit soft corners, but it's a great looking card. There's the back of it. The back looks great. Super happy to have that one in the collection. And my other piece from Lou Gehrig is a recent pickup, the 34 Gaudi number 61. The green background. He also has number 37, which is the yellow background with the smiling face. 34 Gaudi set I've mentioned before is kind of like the Lou Gehrig set. Majority of the cards in the set all say Lou Gehrig says at the bottom. This one's a beautiful example. It's a SGC 2.5, but it's fairly well centered. It's great registration, great corners. The only real issue is just a little bit of paper loss here on the back, but it's on the border, so you really don't even notice it. Back looks nice. Super happy to have that one in the collection. Heinrich Ludwig Gehrig was born on June 19, 1903 in the Yorkville neighborhood of Manhattan. He was one of 4 siblings, but the only one to survive infancy. In elementary school, teachers started to anglicize his name to Henry Louis, and his friends called him Lou. He played sandlot baseball as a kid on the empty lots in New York City. When he was in high school, he gained attention as a ball player when his school played an exhibition game at Wrigley Field. Lou hit a 9th inning grand slam out of the park. Upon graduation, he attended Columbia University, where he majored in engineering. He had a football scholarship to Columbia, but he also played for their baseball team. Giants manager John McGraw pushed Gehrig to play summer pro ball, which he was hesitant to do since it would jeopardize his college eligibility. He ended up getting caught playing for the Hartford Senators and was banned from sports his freshman year. His sophomore year, he came back and played fullback for Columbia's football team. His junior year, he played first base and pitch for Columbia's baseball team. On the day that Yankee Stadium opened just a few miles away, Gehrig struck out 17 batters, impressing a Yankee scout that was in the stands. Gehrig signed with the Yankees on April 30th, 1923. He made his Yankees debut on June 15th, 1923 at the age of 19. He was a pinch hitter since the Yankees had Wally Pipp at first. On June 1st, 1925, Pipp took himself out of a game due to a headache. Gehrig played first, and Pipp would never return as a Yankee first baseman. Gehrig started his streak that day and played in every game for the next 14 seasons. His 2,130 consecutive game streak would be a record for the next 56 years and also earn him the nickname the Iron Horse. He was one of the most beloved players of all time. His awards include being a 2-time MVP, a 7-time All-Star, and he won the Triple Crown, and not just the League Triple Crown, but the MLB Triple Crown in 1934, where he led all of baseball with 49 homers, 166 RBIs, and a .363 batting average. He also was a 7-time World Series champion. His single-season performance includes leading the league in games played 7 times, runs scored 4 times, hits once. He had over 200 hits 8 times, though. Doubles twice, triples once, home runs 3 times, RBIs 5 times, including 150 or more RBIs 8 times. Out of the 12 greatest RBI seasons in MLB history, Gehrig had 4 of them. Batting average once, on-base percentage 5 times, slugging percentage twice, OPS and OPS plus both 3 times, and total bases 4 times, including 5 times with over 400. No other player has had more than 3 seasons over 400. For his career, he had 2,164 games played, 1,888 runs scored, putting him 13th all time, 2,721 hits, 534 doubles, 163 triples, which is 33rd all time, 493 home runs, 23 grand slams, a record that stood for 70 years, 1,995 RBIs, 7th all time, 340 batting average, 19th all time, a 447 on base percentage, 5th all time in the MLB, 632 slugging percentage, 3rd all time in the MLB, a 1.08 OPS, his third all-time in MLB, and a 179 OPS plus, fourth all-time in MLB. He had 5,060 total bases, and he only had 790 strikeouts and 9,665 plate appearances, including only 31 strikeouts in 1934 when he won the Triple Crown. He had 690 plate appearances that year and led the league with 49 home runs, and he only struck out 31 times, which is crazy. Had he not gotten sick, he likely would have been the all-time run scored leader and the all-time RBI leader. He'd probably be a member of the 3,000 hit club, and I'm pretty sure he'd be a member of the 500 home run club. For the postseason, Gehrig appeared in 8 World Series and won 7 of them. He was a great player in the regular season, but he was an even better player in the postseason. His performance included 30 runs scored, including a record 8 game-winning runs, 43 hits, 8 doubles, 3 triples, 10 home runs, putting him 5th all-time in the World Series, 35 RBIs, putting him 3rd all-time in the World Series, a 361 batting average. He also hit over 500 in 2 different World Series. His 361 is 2nd all-time for players with over 100 postseason plate appearances. He had a 483 postseason on-base percentage, a 731 slugging, which is 2nd all-time for players with over 100 postseason plate appearances, a 1.214 OPS, which is 3rd all-time for players with over 100 postseason plate appearances, and 87 total bases. On May 2nd, 1939, Gehrig asked manager Joe McCarthy to bench him for the good of the team. He was feeling weak with the first signs of ALS. He stayed on as captain through the end of the season, but never played a game again. Gehrig died on June 2nd, 1941, at the age of 37 from ALS, which has since been known as Lou Gehrig's disease. During a special meeting of the Baseball Writers Association on December 7th, 1939, Gehrig was elected to the Hall of Fame. It was a special election due to his illness. He also was the first player to have their number retired by a team. As a side, he was also the first athlete to appear on a Wheaties box. Some quotes about Lou Gehrig. I took the 2 most expensive aspirins in history. Wally Pipp, when he sat out and Gehrig had game 1 of his streak. I had the best of it. I would not have traded 2 minutes of joy and grief with that man for 2 decades of anything with another. Eleanor Gehrig, when asked why she never remarried. Who was the kind of boy that if you had a son, he's the kind of person you'd like your son to be? Yankee Sam Jones. They didn't get along. Lou thought Ruth was a big mouth and Ruth thought Gehrig was cheap. They were both right. Teammate Tony Lazzeri. Whatever Lou does in the future doesn't count. He has had 14 great seasons, and I mean great. If I only had 10 of them, I'd be satisfied. Teammate Joe DiMaggio. He just went out and did his job every day. Teammate Bill Dickey. Gehrig had one advantage over me. He was a better ball player. Hall of Famer Gil Hodges. Gehrig never learned that a ball player couldn't be good every day. Ball player Hank Gowdy. Some quotes by Gehrig. What do you think of that big monkey? Imagine calling his shot and getting away with it. The ball player who loses his head, who can't keep his cool, is worse than no ball player at all. I'm not a headline guy. I know that as long as I was following Ruth to the plate, I could have stood on my head and no one would have known the difference. I decided last Sunday night on this move. I haven't been a bit of good to the team since the season started. It would not be fair to the boys, to Joe, or to the baseball public for me to try going on. In fact, it would not be fair to myself, and I'm the last consideration. It's tough to see your mates on base, have a chance to win a ball game, and not be able to do anything about it. McCarthy has been swell about it all the time. He'd let me go on till the cows come home. He's that considerate of my feelings. But I knew in Sunday's game that I should get out of there. I went up there 4 times with men on base. Once there were 2 there. A hit would have won the ball game for the Yankees, but I missed, leaving 5 stranded, and the Yankees lost. Maybe a rest will do me some good. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Who can tell? I'm just hoping. My second favorite quote from Gehrig. There is no room in baseball for discrimination. It's our national pastime and a game for all. And my favorite, from the man himself.
For the past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad brag. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. When you look around, Wouldn't you consider it privilege to associate yourself with such a fine-looking man as is standing in uniform in this ballpark today? That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed number 7, Lou Gehrig. Just such a great player, such a great person, such a tragic story. One of the greatest of all time. Hope you enjoyed the cards. If you liked the ranking or you disliked the ranking, let me know in the comments below. All right. Talk to you guys next time. Thanks.